20 years after his first Elite Series appearance, Matty O has finally taken one down.
He's done it.
Huge moment for his career. Matty. Very long time coming. Some have said that it was never going to happen.
I don't know who would say that.
I always disagreed with him vehemently.
Did you? You gonna leave me here on this island?
No, I stood with Trevor. It was Trevor's take. Some people said that it was my take. It wasn't my take.
I love Matty O. I've always been a big Matty O fan.
I agreed with the take.
We had a good run, and here's what I'm going to say. We had a good run.
What are you going to say?
I've been doing this for a few seasons. Said he was never going to win at the highest level.
Has it been a few seasons already? It feels like it was just yesterday you made that take, man.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, like, it was never, the Matty O take was never just like picking some guy who I didn't think was good at disc golf and being like, well, they're never going to win. It wasn't like that. It was because he was so consistently in the top 10, especially last year, where it was like blowing my mind. And that's why I gave him the can't win title, because in my opinion, if you were in the top 10 that often and not winning, like, there just must be something to it. But, you know, hand up, he convincingly won. He took it. It was an incredible win, very nice comeback victory, and he has officially shook that title. I will never again say that Matty O can't win. It's not true.
Yeah.
It's over. He passes the crown to Calvin Heimberg.
No, Calvin Heimberg.
That's what I'm gonna tweet.
Calvin Heimberg has won in April, but I mean, Matty O's career.
No, he can't win anymore.
True, that's fair. Matty O's career reminds me a lot of, like, you remember that movie, Brock Kelly, Tom Hanks is the coach, and he's like doing the bear crawl with the guy on his back, and he's blindfolded.
Did you say Tom Hanks is the coach?
Is that not the coach?
Tom Hanks? You think Tom Hanks was in that movie?
Who was yelling at him?
That movie was made by a church.
Oh, he looks like Tom Hanks. It was the, you know the coach. He looked a lot like Tom Hanks.
I mean,
you know the scene I'm talking about.
Whenever you said that, I was immediately like, I don't remember a movie where Tom Hanks is the coach.
Well, now I have to find this guy. Facing the Giants movie.
Yeah, his name's like Alex something, and he.
But like, you gotta look at him.
He was like
Alex Kendrick. That's a Tom Hanks looking guy. Come on, Trevor, roll with me here. you know he kind of looks like.
Well,
Tom
it wasn't.
Hanks.
It was.
Look at him. If you're just recollecting it and that you just remember
it was more
the scene,
so that, like, I know that movie was a small budget movie that, like, would have never had a celebrity.
Didn't feel like a small
business. It was well
movie,
made,
you know. Anyways, but you know the scene I'm talking about. Brock Kelly's blindfolded. He's doing the bear crawl. Got the little kid on his back, 100-some pound guy, and he's like, I think I can go to the 50, and then Tom Hanks lookalike dude's yelling at him. Yeah. And next thing you know, he opens his eyes. He's in the end zone. He made it to the end zone.
Yeah.
That's what this moment felt like for me. I feel like Matty O's been bear crawling his entire season or his entire career, 20 years.
20 years.
And he's just got people just like coming on, chirping him on. You know, come on, you got this, Matty. You got this, Matty. And how far you think you can go? How far you think you can go? And he's like, I think I can get to the 50. I think I can do it. And next thing you know, he opens his eyes. He's in the end zone. He won. MVP of all places. A tournament that he choked away. I don't want to say choked away. He lost it on the final hole in 2010. Yeah. 13 years later.
Revenge game.
Here we are.
I knew he had it in him, man.
He always had it in him, but it was
I knew he had it in him because he always shoots a good round. At most tournaments, he typically shoots a really good round.
And that's what this final round was. Now, he had I think he shot even par on like Friday, but he birdied 11 through
Saturday.
Yeah, I think it was Friday.
Saturday.
He birdied 11 through 17 in this final round. Yeah. 3 huge outside the circle putts during that. Each and every one of them felt crucial. In the end, they weren't, but each and every one of them felt crucial. Then on 18, he threw within an inch of that rock off the tee. Not a great tee shot. Threw a forehand up shot right behind a tree. Not a great up shot. I was thinking, is this going to... Because, again, at this point, Chase Card so far ahead of Lead Card. Yeah. Lead Card's back on like 13 right now. I think they were teeing off on 14. So in his mind, this was very doable for Simon or Eagle to catch him.
Yeah.
So it, again, felt crucial. It wasn't in the end, but it felt crucial in the moment. And he's behind this tree now, and I was starting to think, like, is this going to be a Corey Ellis type moment where he's going to throw this OB, turn, end up bogeying and losing by 1 because Eagle or Simon's going to freaking chase him down. Threw a very tricky backhand approach shot to like 2 feet, tapped out, and at that point, I think Eagle and Simon had both messed up somewhat their drives on 14 to where you kind of knew they weren't going to birdie. They would have had to birdie 15 out to tie him at 22 under, I believe, or was that what he got to, 23 under? I think they would have had to birdie out, and so it was very unlikely for him to lose. And then I think once they had the par on 15, if I'm not mistaken, is when it was kind of done. When they didn't eagle bogeyed 15, and I think Simon did as well. Yeah, that was when it was officially like they're gonna have to go like eagle, ace, eagle, birdie, ace, eagle, eagle, or something crazy like that to catch him. And so then you saw it like official. You had like Luke Humphreys run in. It was kind of weird timing because, and this is really lead card's fault. Lead card was so far behind that we had like 20 some minutes of coverage where you knew Matty O was the winner.
Yeah.
But it just couldn't be official yet. Like he's signing the winner discs and everything. But like I wanted to see the post round interview and I wanted to see him hoist the trophy. And you just had to watch golf that mattered for like jockeying position. Like Eagle ended up in second, but it didn't matter for who's going to win.
Yeah, super weird.
And you had to watch like 4 holes of it, which kind of sucked. But
Birdie's going to have a field day.
yeah, I don't know what was going on pace of play because like had it been those guys were in it and fighting, it would have been a very electric last 20 minutes of coverage because you would have been just waiting like who's going to win. But with all of them out of it, it was just like
it's too big of a gap, man.
It was too big of a gap. So they needed to pick up the pace.
What'd you think about the trophy?
It's the same as always.
Well,
Isn't it?
They had a disc the one year, remember?
MVP? No. That was OTB.
Or that was OTB. You're
MVP
right.
always has
it's
this
always
big
the
sign.
wooden thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It's fine.
I definitely think it's a sign that's just hanging on the course somewhere because it's got the little eye hooks.
Does it really?
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh no! Don't let that get found out.
Let me look
It's
this
like
up.
the door sign, and they just unhook it to hand it to the champion.
Yeah, look, it's got the little hooks. Every time.
That's interesting.
So I've always thought that it's just a sign somewhere and they hand it to them.
I mean, it doesn't look bad.
No, but it's fine.
It's big. Their logo. I like
Now, I
the
will
MVP
say
logo.
they must, because this is a different one than they handed Matty O, right?
No, this year they looked the same. At least I saw Haley hoisting it for sure, and it was the same.
Yeah, you're right. It's the same.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's just a sign somewhere on the course.
Interesting.
But I don't mind it.
Somebody
It
tell
looks
us.
like a trophy, kind
He
of.
doesn't mind it, guys.
it's big, and at least it like
It has a tournament
it
name on
doesn't.
it.
It looks
nobody.
significant.
Yeah, nobody looks at it and is at least like, what the heck?
But, yeah, Matty O.
You wanted to at least look like someone won something.
What
Yeah.
the heck?
Not like they
Matty
just
O
left a
ended up
junkyard.
he ended up winning by 4. And it was a great moment.
I got it. That's got to be one of the biggest wins off of
Yeah.
the chase card in a long time.
Well, they said since
4
2017, so 6 years now, the person who's led MVP going into the final round has not won. 6
Wow.
years straight now.
That course, I mean, Maple Hill, man. And this is actually an interesting topic. I don't know if you've written this down, but you see more posts than usual. I think I saw 4 or 5 posts that were read something like this. I know I saw at least one from Gannon and at least one from Yuli. Today's round was really frustrating. Felt like I threw the disc better than I had either of the previous rounds and just didn't get any of the breaks. I do think Maple Hill is one of the, like, it's a course like that where like guys go out there and can throw it better than certain days, and just like it's the thing of with woods golf where it's like if you miss big, sometimes it's better than missing small.
Yeah.
And that's why, I mean, that course provides chaos.
It does.
Like,
Well, I mean, even
there's just scores all over the place.
hole 14, for example, Matty O threw, if the green was, and it's not, you have to factor in skips, but just roll with me here.
Roll with them. I'm rolling.
If the green was hit and stick, Matty O threw a worse shot than Eagle McMahon, yet was left with a much closer putt because Matty O ended up short, and you have to factor this in. So he threw a better shot all in all because you do have to factor in the ground play.
Of course.
But he threw it shorter, and there's this patch of grass. He hit the patch of grass and stuck. Eagle McMahon threw it closer, both with similar velocity, similar angle, but Eagle hit the like mulch dirt and skipped into the crowd. And that's the type of thing of like, I think that's why the players feel like that sometimes, is there's a lot of fast greens like that where it's almost if you throw a quote-unquote worse shot distance-wise, you're rewarded, but it's because you have to have the touch. And
You can't
I
just
think
pay attention to the flight. You have to pay attention to the landing of the disc as well.
I think that's what this East Coast golf end of the year does, is you got to have touch. When you're on golf courses and stuff like that, you can play for skips, you can play for a lot of stuff, and you don't need that like soft landing touch.
Yeah.
And that's what disc golf a lot of times like is all about, is that soft landing touch. And I think that's
Especially
why
on tour.
That's why we see historically, obviously Paul's not playing this year. But I think that's why we see Paul down the stretch start to succeed. Is I think he's a very good angle control touch player.
That is very true.
And when you get to a course like this, that's why I thought Isaac Robinson was going to do so good. It's not like he did awful, but he didn't do great.
He took 19%.
Yeah, he came in 19th. But that's why I thought he was going to do so good. Is this course requires that like soft landing touch aspect of the game. I think that's why players can feel like that sometimes. It's like,
it's interesting.
If you're throwing good, but your angle control's a little off or your speed control's off, even though you're hitting lines, that's
spin,
only one part of it.
The spin, speed, and angle. Yeah, that's a very good point, Hunter.
Yeah. I mean, the bottom line is, from a spectator point of view, and obviously not all the courses are like this, but it is pretty fascinating to have a course where a guy in contention can shoot +3 one round and 10 under the next. That's pretty insane range.
I love it.
It has a ton of range. And bottom line, the leaderboard was stacked, right? Like there was a ton of really good players up at the top. So it's not like this is providing flukes. I can understand it. It's probably very frustrating. We all know how playing in the woods can be very frustrating when the guy in front of you throws a worse shot and gets a sneaky backdoor line and you miss your line by an inch and kick 1,000 feet left. Like it is
Just
what
hit
it
your
is.
line,
But if you
happen.
I would say if you throw shots down the middle, you give yourself a pretty good chance.
That's what I think
this course is a lot of fun.
I think there's maybe 1 or 2 shots I remember this weekend where a shot like was in the middle of the fairway and got unlucky.
What did the new hole 9 end up playing?
It was the toughest hole of it all.
Brutal.
Yeah, it was.
Nobody.
Is there a way to go all rounds? I mean, now you do have to remember here what this playoff event does is this is the top like 80 players.
Yes.
So holes play easier than they would typically on a pro tour because if you add another 80 guys that didn't make it here, it makes holes tougher. So you have to remember that when looking at other courses. But hole 9 still the final round played 0.6 strokes over par as a par 4. I feel like it probably would have been closer to like 1.2.
And that's significantly higher than the next easiest. Next hardest.
Now it wasn't the hardest hole round 3, but round 3 was the wind round.
Yeah,
which I saw a few complaining posts about the wind stoppage because the wind was crazy all day, according to guys, and they were like, I played my entire round in it, and now the lead card's going off, you're going to have a wind stoppage.
Yeah, it's a little interesting.
I mean, it looked like it was pretty...
It's pretty intense.
Is probably for the best safety-wise.
Did we get any blowtorch tee pads?
I don't know. I didn't see that.
I really wanted to see some B-roll.
Now, here's what we have to do, though, because there's like
sizzle.
a few more storylines, but we're going to get off the Matty-O one, okay? Matty-O has done it. He's won. He shut Trevor up. Trevor's the only guy that believed he couldn't win. He shut him up. So
I would get a Matty-O t-shirt
to celebrate this,
or like the fedora he used to wear.
Oh yeah.
To celebrate this, if you wanna build your bag like Matty-O, you want to use the discs he's using. Maybe even pick up a signature Matty-O harp or the Audi. We're gonna have a discount code on all Trilogy. We'll make it can win because Matty-O can win.
Heck,
he has one, so can win.
All one word.
All one word. 10% off all Trilogy. Go eat your heart out. Use it up. That's what that means, right?
Yeah. It's the correct way to use it.
I don't know why that was the phrase that came to mind, but there you go. And, maybe leave a little, like, a joke towards Trevor, because Trevor, again, was the only person that believed Matty-O couldn't win. Connor and I were always team. It's just his day's coming.
Hey, man, you can't join my team. I love Matty-O.
So here,
we're on Team Matty-O here. Trevor's on an island by himself. Can win. Rub it in Trevor's face.
Here's my question is, if we're saying Matty-O was the best player without an Elite Series win,
okay.
If we're saying that, and I'd have to look down the list to know if that was even the case before.
That is what people were saying.
Who is it now? Who is now the best player?
Has Aaron Gossage won one?
No, are you going straight to Gossage?
I don't know. That was my next storyline.
Pull up the rankings. The Gooseman's good.
I'm just saying.
I just feel like we're going to forget someone who has won one when we're looking at Anthony Barella.
That's probably the answer. It's probably AB.